All right, I think we are good. I think TikTok is going. We got Instagram going, and let's get to it. I usually do this on Sunday nights, but this weekend I'm in town, so I was like, why not just hop on, give them some value. I don't know if I'll be able to be on, especially for TikTok. You guys know I go live usually Sundays or Wednesdays on TikTok. So the next couple weekends or so, it's gonna get busy. It's gonna get crazy. So I was like, why don't I just come on TikTok live and serve the people if they hop on and ask questions? And I was like, wait, I saw my phone out the corner of my eye, my old iPhone 6, and I was like, wait, can I boot this up? Can I get on? Can this work? So I charged it up. I was like, let's go. Let's see if I can go live on TikTok and live on Instagram and see how this works. See how you guys respond to it. So I'm live. I'm usually live on TikTok and YouTube. Right now, I'm live on TikTok and Instagram. So TikTok, you guys know how this works. Instagram, if you want to ask questions, I highly suggest using that question box or that question bubble so I can see it and I don't get lost in multiple comments. So ask your questions away. I'm going to do announcements. TikTok knows how this works. If you get your questions in fast and early, I'll be able to get to them. If not, then it might get a little crowded and the questions might just flow and I don't know if I'll be able to get to them all. So I won't stay on too long tonight. I'll probably hop back on tomorrow just because I might have some time. So we'll go through that. So get your questions ready. Ask them in the chat on Instagram, TikTok. Ask them in the question box, or you can ask them in the comments. Do your thing. You guys know how to do it. But first and foremost, if you guys are new here, if you guys are coming back, if you guys followed us, just started following us, wherever you are in between, we have a PT School Masterclass on June 13th. June 13th, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. I don't know why I thought it was longer from now, but it's Sunday. It is this Sunday, 12 p.m. Eastern Time, June 13th. All registrants will have a link to the replay after the live stream is done. So don't worry about that if you cannot make it. We've been getting questions on that. If you can't make it, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? If you can't make it, you will have a link to the live stream recording. So don't worry about that at all. So Sunday, June 13th, 12 p.m. Eastern Time, our live masterclass, last one of this year, last one of the year on June 13th, 12 p.m. Eastern. So sign up at leveluptheprept.com. Instagram, there's a link in the bio. You can just click that and go to it. TikTok, same thing. The link is in the bio. Go to it, click that, and that's the first announcement. So get your questions ready. Drop them in the bubble or the box on TikTok or Instagram, and we'll go through them after a couple more. So next, after the masterclass on June 13th, the following week we'll be doing a essay workshop. An essay workshop. So after PTCast opens. After PTCast opens on June 15th, we're going to write your essay with you. We're going to write your essay with you on June 21st, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. 9 p.m. Eastern Time, June 21st. All right? We're going to knock this thing out. I'm going to be like, hey, write it like this. This is the intro. This is the body paragraphs. This is the conclusion, so on and so forth. And you're going to literally be there watching me give you examples, saying, here are some examples of how to write it. This is how I would do it, blah, blah, blah. Boom. Write it with me. All right. Now, let's move on to the body paragraphs. Boom, 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 bam, bam, bam. Write it with me. Same thing with conclusion. And by the end, you should have a solid foundation, if not 70, 80, 90% of your essay done and ready to go for submission. Then we'll tell you more about how to get it revised and how that works and so on and so forth with the essay. So if you want to sign up early, go to preptessay.com. We'll be like blasting this out after the masterclass on June 13th. So you'll be seeing a ton of it. You'll be seeing a ton of it everywhere. So that will be on June 21st. June 21st, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to write your essay with you at preptessay.com. That's where you can sign up. But we'll be talking more about it as the next week goes. Then, coming up later on, out in July, then out in August, we have something new coming up in July with kind of, I don't want to explain it too much, but it's something new. It's something creative. It'll be fun. We'll see how it works. We'll see how you guys respond to it. But just look out for something in July. Look out for something in July. Then in August, we have a debt-free summit, or halfway to debt-free summit. For those of you interested in the financial part and how to get out of debt and not have debt, so on and so forth, this is for you. So whether you are a pre-PT or an SPT specifically, maybe coming out into being a new grad and you're concerned about the finances and you're like, oh my gosh, either what did I get myself into, or I chose a school and is a little bit more expensive than I like. How do I navigate this? So on and so forth. We'll be doing a debt-free, halfway to debt. We called it the halfway to debt-free summit last year, and we'll probably use the same name again this year. It will be in August. I believe August 13th or August 15th, whatever that Sunday is. We'll be doing it there. So those were the announcements so far. So yeah, drop your questions below. Then we'll get into it. So first, June 13th is the masterclass. All right, last one of the year. leveluptheprept.com. all right, next on June 21st, the essay workshop. We're calling it the essay lab on June 21st, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, then after that we have something new in July. We'll talk more about it. Then in August we have the debt-free summit. So we got a lot of stuff for you guys coming up. Just stay on the lookout. Stay absorbed in us. Share all of our stuff out to friends, to pre-PT classmates, so on, so forth, so on and so forth. So a question that I got recently, earlier today, and actually a lot in the last few days, was specifically about like letters of recommendations. I've been getting that a lot in the past probably week or two. Multiple people from multiple different areas, multiple places in their pre-PT journeys asking about how they work, specifically for people trying to get started on their PTCAS application early. So I'll break it down real simple. For letters of recommendation, if you're starting to get, antsy about them.
Sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you.
Sorry, Siri. If you're starting to get antsy about letters of recommendation, you have to know this. All you have to know is this. They can write your letter early. They just cannot submit your letter early. That's it. If you already submitted your references or sent an email through PTCAS to your references and they already started working on it, not that big of a problem. You're just going to have to resubmit the link, re-give them an email. Then after that, they'll just have to redo the little form and upload their letter of recommendation. So they don't have to rewrite everything, just have them write it on something separately. Then they can just take that from their email or Google Docs or so on and so forth. Then they can put that on PTCAS when it's time. So I've been getting a lot of questions about that. It's not that crazy. It's not that difficult. Nothing to be scared about. Just keep that in mind for letters of recommendation. Let's do TikTok first, then I'll head over to Instagram. Biggest tip when applying to physical therapy school. It's really where do I start with that? And if you're still on, it really depends on where you are in your journey. Really narrows me down to giving you the best tip for where you are. So if you're like a freshman just starting out, my best advice or my biggest tip for you would be very different than somebody applying to PT school, in 10 days or so. But overall, I think the biggest thing that comes to mind right now is putting yourself in the faculty's shoes, putting yourself in their position. Oh, Bria, what's going on? I think I just saw you on Instagram. Are you on both? You have two phones as well? What's going on? But I think the biggest tip I would give you is put yourself in their shoes. The faculty, the program director, the person giving you an interview, the admissions director on the other side of that email or phone call. What do you think they're looking for? What would you like to see as an applicant if thousands of applicants were applying to your school? What would you like to see from an applicant? What would stand out to you about a certain applicant? If you were sifting through all these applications and scrolling and reading through them, spending time going through those essays, what would stand out to you? That's what I would ask first. And if you're like, oh man, the GPA would really stand out, boom, work on that. If you're like, oh my gosh, community service would stand out to me. Oh, got work on that. Oh, their confidence, how they talk, how they smile, the eye contact. Then work on that. Whatever comes to mind, first work on that and go down the list. So I think not a lot of pre-PTs put themselves in the shoes of the people making the decision and really have, and it's not a bad thing because it's your career, it's your life, this is important to you. But a lot of times it's just pre-PT centered, and it's all about, oh my gosh, me. Why don't they accept me? I hope they accept me. How hard, don't they know how hard I'm working? So on and so forth. When in reality, if you put yourself in their shoes of how they're looking at you, things are going to automatically shift, and you're going to be like, oh, interesting. I see why they say that now. I see why they respond to me like that. I see why they have these requirements, so on and so forth. So that's the biggest thing that comes to mind, but this is what our whole account is for. So we got tons of advice for our biggest tips. I would go to our YouTube channel as well and check that out. Best advice to sign up for the masterclass. True. Leveluptheprept.com. Sign up for the masterclass. I'm applying this cycle too. How do you go live on both? Oh, you missed it. I was explaining. I found my old iPhone 6 and I got my iPhone 10 here. So I rebooted up. I charged up my iPhone 6. So I'm live on Instagram on that. Then I'm live on TikTok with my, I guess, normal phone. 3.9, pretty good and competitive. Yeah, it's fine. My next question for that is, is that your cumulative GPA or your prerequisite GPA? Do you know the difference? If you don't know the difference, you need to find out the difference because you'll either be happy with, oh, my other GPA is just as good, or you'll be like, oh, my other GPA is not as good, and I thought I was this good, but I'm not. So yes, it's a great GPA. But my question to you is, which one is that? Do you know the difference? If so, great. If not, then that's your next step. So yeah. All right, let's head over to the IG. There we go. All right, here we go. How many credits left in undergrad should I apply for PT school? I'm a non-traditional student. Also a veteran, so classified as a junior. Taking summer classes, a little ahead. So credits wise, it's not necessarily always credits, but sometimes it's more so the classes. So a lot of the schools have a limit on the outstanding classes that you can have or have not taken before you apply to PT school. So usually it's 2 classes, some schools 3, but it's usually you can have 2 prerequisite classes not finished yet and still apply to physical therapy school. Does that make sense? So if you have physics 1 to do in medical terminology, but you finished all the rest of your prerequisites, and you have like a 3.5 or 3.4, whatever that is, and your GPA is still on their level, is still in their average range, then you go ahead and apply and have those 2 classes in progress or planned, and take those classes in the fall or even the spring. So it's usually 2 classes that you can have outstanding. They don't necessarily have a credit limit on them. So if you're talking about the major prerequisite classes, those are usually 4 credits, like your biology, your anatomy, so on and so forth. And your medical terminologies are like 1 or 2 credits. So I guess fortunately or unfortunately, however you look at that, it's not really a credits thing, it's more so of a class thing. So if you're still on, hopefully that answered your question. If not, let me know. I would definitely clarify it for you, and we'll go from there. Good question though. I've been getting that question a lot as well. I've been seeing it through our different platforms about how many classes or credits can you apply or not apply with. So good question. I've been getting that a lot. So hopefully people see this later, and hopefully that'll be good too. Oh shoot, I just waved at somebody. Who did I wave at? Nick. I'm waving at you. Sorry about that. Yeah, that does. Yes. Yes, Anthony, you are correct. Prereqs, I'm specifically talking about prereqs for physical therapy school, not necessarily classes for undergrad. Now, you do have to have your bachelor's degree. So if you still need to get that and you have like 10, 15, 2, 4 classes left to get your bachelor's degree, you still have to finish your bachelor's degree and have that completed before you start and matriculate into a DPT program. So definitely keep that in mind as well, if you're in that situation. So, yeah. Let's see, TikTok here. Oh, it's cumulative. Okay, so if it's cumulative, definitely figure out what your prerequisite GPA is, and make sure you're either that high or somewhere near it or somewhere close to what the school wants in a prerequisite GPA. So your cumulative is great. Your overall GPA sounds like, depending on the school, but it sounds like your overall GPA is going to be great either way. But definitely look into your prerequisite classes and your prerequisite GPA and calculate that from there as well to make sure you're good to go. But you should be good. Sounds like you should be good. Let's see. Advice to getting into an inpatient setting. So an inpatient setting might be getting a little easier over time as states do their thing and get back to whatever they're going to get back to. But you can't, I think the easiest way might be to get a position in the hospital, like a job in the hospital. So whether it is a PT tech, a PT aide, a transporter, the rolling team, somebody to help move the patients, whether it's the clerk's desk or the front desk of the hospital, a full hospital volunteer as well. However you can get your foot in the door into the hospital, I think might be the best way. It might bypass a lot of their loopholes and corporate policies put into place since all this happened. So instead of going in there saying, hey, I'm a pre-PT, I need observation hours, they might shut you down and be like, no, our policy says, and the corporate and the CEO says this, and we can't do that until this and that. It just might be a lot of hoops to go through. Whereas if you try to go in there for a full-time or part-time position and you're in as an employee, then you say, okay, you take this shot and you take that and you're cleared for that and you have a badge here, then that might bypass a lot of policies. And hey, you might find a PT and just on your hours off or your lunch break or your days off, just be like, hey, I work here, can I shadow you? Boom. So that might work for you. That's the best way I think you can do it. But you can also just go into a hospital or inpatient setting and just see what their policies are and go in with an open mind and say, I'm a pre-PT, I'm looking for this, blah, blah, blah. How does your policy work? How do things work here? Are things opening back up? Are things still closed down? Do you have a time limit? Do you have a volunteer limit? Do you have a student limit on who can come in certain time of day? Just be inquisitive about what they have, what their policies are, and yeah, go from there. So that's the best thing I think you should do. Let's see. Is the master class this Sunday going to be pre-recorded if I'm signed up? Yes. Yeah, so it's going to be, everybody who just joined on is going to be pre-recorded. It's also going to be live, but it's also going to be recorded. So if you cannot join the master class at the time, 12 p.m. Eastern, June 13th, leveluptheprept.com. If you can't be there live, we will email you a replay link after the fact. After we finish, after the system kind of does its AI robot thing and spits us out a link, we'll email it to you. We'll put a nice little email together and you'll get it shortly after. So if anybody else is worried about that, you'll be good. No worries at all. No worries at all. Let's see here. I think we're good there. If your GRE score is not at what the school wants, is it worth it to apply to that school? So that's up to you. That's going to be completely up to you. If your GRE score is not at what the school wants, is it worth it to apply? That would be my question to you. That would be my question to you. So my next question after that is, do they have a hard cutoff for the GRE? Like if you get a 299, we don't care at all. You cannot apply to our school. Are they like that, or is it just recommended? Like, oh, well, we recommend a 300, but if you have a 299 and 297, we don't really care that much. If that's your school or schools that you're applying to, then you might technically not have to retake it. But if your school is like, nope, we want this, and you really want to go to that school, then you have a decision to make. Do you want to go to that school more than you want to or don't want to retake the GRE or not? So That would be the thought process there. Then anybody else trying to decide whether to retake the GRE or not, it's really coming down to, like, how are you going to feel if you apply and the worst case scenario happens? So if you apply to PT school and don't retake the GRE like you think you should or think you shouldn't, and you get rejected, are you going to be the person who's staying up late at night looking at the ceiling fan like, oh my gosh, if I had just retaken it, oh my gosh, blah, blah, blah. Then for your sake, forget about the school, forget about anybody else, for your sake, you might want to retake it for your own sanity. But if you're going to be like, nope, I'll be good either way, I just don't want to take that thing anymore, I'm good, I just want to be done with it, and if the worst case scenario happens, you'll truly be okay, then hey, it's up to you, your decision. So good question though, very good question. Those who plan, sorry, I've been doing TikToks all day. For those who plan to apply for the 2023 school year, what type of tips would you give them? So the first thing I would do is make sure that you want to apply the 2023 school year and not start the 2023 school year. You might already know, you might have this timeline figured out already, great. But this answer, now I'm going off on a tangent for those of you who might be a little new or may have not thought of this before. Make sure that you're sure that you want to apply 2023 and not start school 2023, because if you want to start school 2023, you need to apply 2022. If you want to apply 2023, you will most likely start school 2024. So that's the thing I would say first. That's the first thing I would keep in mind. But if you do actually want to apply 2023, number one, I would keep your grades as high as possible. Your prereqs, your overall, your classes you don't care about, your classes you don't think count, blah, 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 all that, I would keep your grades as high as you possibly can. As high as you possibly can. And it'll make your life so much easier. So much easier when you do apply in 2023. So yes, you can get hours. Yes, you can learn about physical therapy. Yes, you can start making relationships for letters of recommendation. Yes, you can join our coaching programs. Yes, you can do this and that and that. All the stuff we talk about, yes, you can do that. But the main priority, I would say right now, since you have that much time, is keep your grades as high as possible. It'll make everything else so much smoother. So just keep staying in our world. Stay following all our platforms, and you'll be good. You'll be good. So hope that answered your question. There. Let me hop on over to TikTok real quick. Bree, unrelated to BT stuff. Where did you get your room lighting? So I got this from Amazon. This was another accepted system student. I saw his lighting in one of his videos, and I was like, which light should I get? And it was just, I forgot the name of the pack, but it's just, you know, the lights from Amazon. So if you just type in the lights, the TikTok lights, or if you type in wall lights or something like that, a bunch of this stuff will pop up. Then I got this crochet from, on TikTok, it's Crafty Chelsea, I believe with 2 A's. So Chelsea with an extra A, I believe. But Crafty Chelsea, she's also in our accepted system coaching program. I saw her making these on TikTok, on her TikTok page. I was like, oh my gosh, you gotta hook it up, make me one. So she hooked it up. It's a lot bigger than I thought it would be, but she definitely did her thing. So yeah, good question, Bree. I want to apply to DPT school next July. Should I take the GRE this year? Whenever you're ready. You can take it this year if you have time, if you have a plan to study for it, if you don't have too much life stuff going on, or you can wait until next year where you don't have too much stuff going on. So totally up to you. There is no time limit. Well, you don't want to take it too late after the deadline or too close because you want everything to process. But there's not a date where it is too early. So yes, you can take it now, or you can wait to take it later. So either one works. Best things to do in high school, to do PT later on in life. Dang, super early. So if you're in high school and you want to be a physical therapist, I say just learn as much as you can about physical therapy. The good, the bad, the medium, the ugly, the boring, the exciting, the innovation, the outdated stuff. Learn as much as you can about this profession and any other profession you want to go into. Any other profession you want to go into. So when you do make that decision to go into PT, or by the time you actually choose, maybe do something else or both, have something on the side, whether PT is the side thing or whatever that is, then you are making the best informed decision that you can make So use this time to your advantage. You don't necessarily have to worry about grades and stuff now. You can go ham on anatomy if you want. You know, the options are endless, but I think the best thing you can do in high school is just learn as much about the profession that you want to get into as possible, so you can either save yourself from getting in this profession, or you can be like, man, yes, I actually do want to get into it. So you can have a happy, healthy, fulfilled career. So yeah, great question. That's a very good question. What did I major in? Exercise science, or health science, emphasis in exercise science. It's all the same thing. Kinesiology, exercise science, pre-PT track. It's all the same thing, in my opinion. All right, good stuff. Bree, we love it. Good stuff. Give her a follow. Give her a follow, Bree, on TikTok. She'd appreciate it. Let's see what Instagram's got. Would having your observation hours in one setting impact if a school accepts you or not? Depends on the school. So if the school doesn't care about what setting you get your observation hours in, then it doesn't matter. If they're like, we just want 20 hours. We don't care if it's inpatient, outpatient, on a horse, with a dog, cat in the hat. I don't care. With green eggs and ham, we don't care where the observation hours are. Just get them. Then, no, it will not impact you. But if they're very strict and they're talking about, oh, shoot, you need it from this specific setting 20 hours, then you need from this specific setting 80 hours, then it will impact you, because if you don't have the requirements, they're going to be like, what the heck, you don't have our requirements, what the heck is going on? So it could definitely impact you depending on the school you apply to. Then you can also do virtualobservationhours.com with us. Or sorry, observationhours.com. We do virtual observation hours. It's at observationhours.com. Link is in the bio, whether you're on TikTok or whether you are on Instagram. So definitely check that out if you need observation hours as well. All right, I think I am good on Instagram. Good stuff. Where did you go for college? I went to Andrews University. Myself and Joseph, the co-founder of Pre-PT Grind, went to Andrews University. You can kind of see the very expensive piece of paper in the background. So yeah, I went there for undergrad and grad school. Thanks, Casey. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good. I think we got one more, then we might be good. We might be good to go. This is pretty good. Last minute, hopped on here. A good, quick 30-minute sesh. I'll wait a few more minutes for anything to come through, and we'll be good. Then I might hop on here tomorrow night. No promises. I'm not going to promise anything, but there's a good chance that I'll hop on real quick tomorrow night as well. Before the masterclass on Sunday, June 13th. Leveluptoprept.com. Make sure you're there. Let's see. I wanted to start PT school 2022, but I thought we applied the same year and went the same year. Haven't studied for the GRE or retaken AMP 1 and 2. I don't think I have enough time. You graduate in August. So you study for the GRE, or you have not studied for the GRE and have not retaken AMP 1 and 2. So you don't have a real name there, but you might have to DM me on a few other missing pieces I'd want to know before I'd give you advice on this, because it might get a little tricky for where you are in your situation. But it's not impossible for you to apply this year, but there's many factors that go into play. When are the deadlines to the school you're applying to? What are their requirements? What's their GRE requirements? Do they need observation hours? Do they don't? Do they need the GRE? Do you even have to take it or study for it? Do you need to stress out about that? Oh, Rachel. Okay, cool. Rachel, do you need to study for it? Do you not? There's a lot of factors that go into it, so it's not impossible to apply this year, but there's just a lot of stuff we have to keep track of, or not. But if worst case scenario happens and you do have to apply next year, then it's not the worst case scenario, because physical therapy isn't going anywhere. Like, I applied one year, I got rejected, I applied again, still became a physical therapist, still practicing right now. I'm on Instagram and TikTok with you guys. So physical therapy didn't go anywhere. It's going to be here. So if the worst case scenario happens, you'll be okay. But you can, but it might get a little tricky. All right, let's see. Anything else? I start my first clinical on Monday. Good stuff. Have fun. Enjoy it. get some sleep, get some good sleep before. Have fun at the clinic. Exciting, good luck. Yeah, good stuff. Take it in, take it in. I assume you're talking about clinicals, as in you're in PT school, not a pre-PT, I assume. Oh, PTA. Oh, good stuff. But yeah, enjoy, have fun. I think we're good. I think we're good. On Instagram and TikTok, if there's any other questions, I'll wait a few seconds. If not, then I will hop off and go chill for the rest of the night. PTA squad. And I'll come back most likely tomorrow night. So we're all good. We're all good. All right. Perfect. All right. I will see y'all possibly tomorrow night. Have a good one. Have a good weekend and take care.